Time now is 5 o'clock. Welcome to the South King Fire Board of Fire Commissioners special meeting. Chief Michaels, pledge allegiance, please. Thank you. We have Commissioner Monroe online, absent today, Commissioner Burrs. So I'll start to my left. Commissioner comments, Commissioner Fuller. Rivadino.
No comment.
Nothing from myself. Thank you. So number 4. Thank you all for attending this meeting as we conclude the review period for the benefit charge petitions as established under RCW 52.18.070. Over the past 2 weeks, the Benefit Charge Review Board has carefully considered each petition submitted by property owners who raised concerns about the amount of their benefit charges. Pursuant to RCW 52.18.070, the Board of Fire Commissioners shall, upon compliance in writing of a party aggrieved owning property in district, reduce the charge of a person who, in the board's opinion, has been charged too large a sum to a sum or amount as the board believes to be true, fair, and just amount. Just over to Kelsey.
So this year, we'll have 145 petitions, 32% being square footage, 40% being financial hardship, 9% fire alarms, 3% sprinklers, and 16% as what we categorize as other. So either they did not give a reason or they don't agree with it. That's a reduction of 67 petitions from last year. The breakout, there's 13 petitions. It should be on. Hello? Hello?
Yes.
I'll restart. Okay, so this year we received a total of 145 petitions. 32% of those were square footage, 40% were financial hardships, 9% were monitored fire alarms, 3% were sprinklers, and 16% were classified as other, which it means they either did not give a reason or they don't agree with fire benefit charge in general, which is a reduction of 67 petitions from last year. We met as a board and worked through each petition, and based off of our recommendations, there are 13 petitions, 5 being for a senior discount, 1 being for a sprinkler, and 7 being for a monitored alarm, for a total adjustment of $1,225.56.
Thank you. Any questions from the board?
How big a change is that from last year?
So last year we granted $3,600 worth, so it's about a $2,400 reduction.
Of course, that doesn't have any impact on our budget, that amount.
It will come off of our total 2026 budget, but since the amount isn't too significant, it won't.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Commissioner Bull?
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Monroe, are you online? Do you have any questions?
It's kind of hard to hear. Could you briefly recap with your microphone?
Is it Commissioner Monroe? Is it myself or Kelsey's report?
I can hear you very well. I couldn't hear the report.
Thank you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Correct.
So we had a total of 145 petitions that were submitted. 32% were based off of square footage, 40% for financial hardship, 9% off of a monitored fire alarm, 3% was a sprinkler, and 16% were classified as other. The board met and we recommend moving forward with 13 of the petitions, 5 regarding a senior discount, 1 regarding a sprinkler, and 7 regarding a monitored alarm. And the total impact is $1,225.56.
Thank you.
Any questions, Commissioner Monroe?
No questions for me.
Thank you. Any no questions? Thank you, Kelsey. You have a motion?
I will make a motion to adopt the provided table of reduced benefit charges as recommended by the review board.
Second?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Vadino, second by Commissioner Fuller to adopt the provided table of reduced benefit charges recommended by the review board. Are there any discussion on the motion on the table?
Do we go out and validate that they actually have installed an alarm, or do we look look at the sprinkler system? It's great that we see somebody putting in a sprinkler system. We have very few.
Yeah, so for the monitored fire alarm, they have to provide a certificate from the agency that's actually monitoring the system. For the sprinkler, we work with Fire Marshal Nichols, who reviews the floor documents and the permits in the city of Federal Way or Des Moines to verify that they have sprinklers.
Thank you.
Have a motion on the table at this time. So, let me get to the end, and there will be some questions. So I had that motion on the table to adopt the provided table reduced benefit charges recommended. Any more discussion from the board? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. You. So the Board of Fire Commissioners takes no action on any other submitted petitions based upon recommendations by the Benefit Charge Review Board. We appreciate diligent work of the review board in the process and thank the community for their engagement. This concludes the petition review process. This time, are there any public comments specific to this matter? Yes, sir. Need a mic. Will you state your name and your... Thank you.
This one works any better.
Sure. Mark Eide, E-I-D-E, Des Moines resident, live in the Redondo Beach condominiums. I think there's 36 or 37 units in that condominium. Didn't realize that you were going to go forward with a motion without any public input, or that if we had some opportunity to appear before the board that made the recommendation to you, because there was nothing in the information that we received that said we could, attend a board hearing to discuss our particular appeal. I have a personal appeal, and I'm also here with the secretary of the Redondo Beach Condominium Association, who filed one on behalf of the condominium association. But in going through the information that was on your website, I was trying to figure out why we had my personal one was about a 25% increase. And absolutely nothing has changed in the past year, except that we have enhanced our fire alarm system, put in a new elevator, and actually had the fire department out there on a call for somebody who was fallen ill, and pointed out to them that one of our fire hydrants had not been working for at least 4 months. And they said, well, we'll get that fixed because that's something that the water district is supposed to take care of. Apparently nobody went around and looked at these. I don't know why, but might have been more like 6 months. So I'm curious because I looked at the website and attempting to file my appeal, and it referred to a lot of studies and regulations that were not on the website. And try as I might, I couldn't find any of them, or well, I found about 3 of them, none of which made any sense to me because I'm not a fire engineer. I don't know how to, how this formula actually applies. And so I'm curious as to why a year later we had a 25% increase.
Thank you, Mr. Ivy. Kelsey, you want to handle that? Because I'm not on the review board at all. Or you want to do the answer now or try later?
Yes.
Sorry, it's because it's recorded.
If I can recall, we did review the petition and there was mention of the monitored fire alarm and the sprinkler, and you had already been granted discounts for those 2 items. So within our ability, we were able to grant all the discounts.
Well, that was last year.
It carried over to this year. Yeah.
Can I go on?
Yeah.
So for the commissioners, seems like a bit of a moot point, but I think it's important that,
Excuse me, state your name again. I'm
no,
sorry.
I'm sorry, my name is Barry Costello. I'm on the board of directors for the Redondo Beach condominiums. They're down the road here, across from Salty's. There's 37 owners there. In 2025, the fire fee for the county was $623. On top of that was the addition for this fee that we're talking about, the fire benefit charge of $620. So essentially doubling what had been that case 2024, 23, 22, et cetera. My perception was that one was going to go down and the other was going to go up, so South King Fire would get more and the individual owners wouldn't be quite as excessively charged. In this particular case, what's happening is, and we work with Kelsey and she's been great. What's happening, however, is through Kelsey's effort on a previous request back in the fall, we were reduced $62. Okay. So we went from $835 over and above the 600 that's going to go to the county to $773. Okay. That's from last year. Once again, that's an addition, $150+ dollars. The point of the story here is this. We live in a building and a similar home down the road, they're paying $334. Each individual of the 37 units in this one building is paying $773, more than double. When you add up that total, 37 times these numbers, the fee is $28,000. This is in addition to the $22,000 that we're paying the county. So for one building, for fire, it's $50,000, $51,328. $50,000 for one building for 1 year, which boggles the mind. And so our request was treat the 37 owners of these condominiums like a homeowner. The homeowner right next to us pays $334. The condominium owner on a small footage is paying $773, more than double. And so as Mark talks about, you have formulas, somebody comes up with these numbers, we get it. Actually, we don't get it, but we understand there's people behind all this, kind of behind the curtain, what's going on. But from just as pure numbers perspective, the issue becomes you've got a homeowner, $330. You've got 27 or 37 condominiums, all at $773. this doesn't make sense to us. And so representing those 37 people on top of the 623 going to the others, I'll say the other side, King County, it doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem equitable when you base a small condominium versus a house. I guess that's it. I just want to make you aware. It seems to me that you're unaware, and Kelsey, once again, has been great. But we put in a several-page memorandum, which we're happy to share with you, that lays this all out in detail.
One more thing, Mark, I
Yes.
again, it appears to me in looking at my tax statement and then this fire benefit, charge, that I'm paying more for the fire benefit charge than I am in my taxes to the fire district by more than $100. So I'm paying 600 and something in property tax for the fire district and 773 in the benefit. So, I mean, I don't mind paying for it. I certainly want you guys to show up when the building's on, somebody's sick or something happens, and we work with the fire department in setting up the access into the building, and we've spent a lot of money by the association in the last 2 years on our fire alarm system. But, that seems a little odd that the benefit charge would exceed my tax.
No,
And
I get it.
Again, I tried to figure out, in looking at your website that talked about the appeal, all these studies and regulations, which, again, I'm not a fire expert, but most of them I couldn't even find. I was looking around in the web trying to find these studies and then trying to calculate out what my particular unit is 1,443 square feet. So 1,443 square feet, I'm paying, I think it's 1,443, 1,442. I'm paying, a substantial amount of money. What is that per foot? It's almost $1 per foot.
And I would just, not to beat a dead horse here, but I would just say this, representing the 37 owners. We have gone and done the right thing. By that I mean, we have gone and replaced 37 breaker boxes, electrical breaker boxes, for the whole building. We've gone and created and paid for a monitored fire alarm system. We've gone and kept the building in really good shape. And so doing it is the right thing. We want to do it, but I only bring it to the board's attention to give you a sense that this is not some ramshackle building that is, a fire trap or whatever else like that. People are very proud of what they own there, very proud of what they've got, and really want to keep it in the shape that it has come to be in. And so we've done all these extra things to make sure that we are good citizens, good stewards, and making sure we won't need too much, hopefully at all, the benefit of the fire. So that's it. I mean, Kelsey's told us what the report is. Bottom line from this memorandum is, we've got a $62 reduction, which is offset by a several $100 increase. And so it doesn't seem to have made any difference, bottom line. Is that fair, Kelsey?
Say that's factual. I would say the fire benefit charge is calculated based on resource availability and the resources it would take to put out a fire, and that is heavily dependent on what the type of structure is. I think we're looking at improving our processes year to year, so it's something we can take a look at with the commissioners next year to see if there are any improvements to the process or something we can do.
And you'd agree that from year to year, the resources necessary to put out a fire at spot A, our case, didn't change that. The cost charge is increased by 25% in 1 year. The resources from last year to this year shouldn't be any different. And in fact, the building's safer today than it was a year ago.
Right. It is based on a number of factors on how much it costs the fire department to run and the availability of apparatus. So that all can influence the total fire benefit charge.
Well, did the average resident in a single-family house go up 25% this year?
I don't think we're prepared to answer that question. Just simply, we don't have the numbers in front of us. I don't think that is the case. I will say, to these gentlemen, Kelsey did bring to the attention, these matters and suggested to the Finance and Audit Committee that we, take a hard look at condominiums for, what the calculation, the formula, and the risk factors are for next year. So that's, a body of work that we're going to be doing this year.
Commissioner Fuller, you had something?
There is probably a factor that it is a building with all of the homes in that building connected. So that may have increased the risk factor that they're all connected versus a single family building. We'll have to take a look at all the factors that are in that and get an answer to you. When you mentioned that you're having trouble calculating things and looking for forms and everything, I suggest you not look at our website for them, but contact us early enough so that we can produce the documents that you need ahead of time that allow you to calculate it without confusion.
Okay, happy to do that. Is there any chance of having a more in-depth procedure next year where we actually get a chance to talk to the people who are making the recommendation to the board? You know, because they've done apparently the research, I'm still stymied as to how it went up 25% a year when absolutely nothing has changed. The building's been there since the mid-70s.
I think we owe you an answer to that question.
You know, and so, I mean,
We need to show you the details of how it was calculated.
The immediate thing that comes to mind is you made a mistake the year before. Or somehow things changed and the fire department that shows up, the various stations haven't moved. They're all at the same spot they were the year before. I assume that the number of firefighters probably increased, if anything.
Yes.
And so I'm struggling to see where it is that this 25% increase came from.
Commissioner Eddy, Mr. Costello, thank you. So I think that answer your question, Commissioner Fuller, too, right? So we can look into that. I'm also curious, like, are there like buildings that are done that way? Like they have 37 units, condos. Are they assessed the same way? Right, which I assume they are. So I think that we have to look at that process a little more than have right now.
And I guess the only other thing I'd say is that we were under the misimpression, our problem, that we were here to address the decision makers that Kelsey's already done. So we would want to have been invited to the prior discussion to talk to those people who ultimately made the recommendation to you. You don't have all the details that they had.
Yeah, I'd point out Mark Addy again. I'd point out that your South King County Fire Benefit Charge petition form says the review board hearing will be held on today. And you're not required to attend, but may do so if you'd like to present oral information in addition to the information below. It makes it sound like there's going to be a hearing, you know, where we present our side, they present their side, then you guys decide. We came in here and it was decided. And then all we're hearing from the board is, well, we'll take a look at it and see about it next year. It's not really much of an appeal process. I mean, I was having a pretty good meal up at home coming to this meeting.
I
You wanted to comment?
would say that the good news is that you're bringing it forward and we already have a plan in place to look at it moving.
Commissioner Bean.
Could we connect them with somebody to explain the calculation as well?
Apologize on wording, so I know there is Dino is one of the people on the finance committee process.
No, we are not. on
The
the
review
board.
process is totally different from what we have, and you're right. Come to us with recommendation. So apologize for exceptions in what we were doing today. So but we'll look into it, get an answer back to you. So change the process. No, that's not what you want to hear today. Thing, but it is concerning about why that amount is that way. I'm concerned too. So that's why I was asking if like for like, 7 condos, same area, stuff like that, what are they getting charged also? I'd be interested in just to make sure that's consistent, that part too. Especially if your sprinkler system was updated. How long ago was it updated? Rated? No, I get it.
It is a monitored.
Monitor
system,
Okay.
which was updated this past year, which Kelsey accounted for, and therefore we got a $62 reduction.
Got it.
Okay.
So we can find some answers, that'd be great. Get back to Mr. Ida, Mr. Costello, that'd be great. Also, just kind of let us know future you guys find out. Appreciate you gentlemen coming out. Thank you. Sorry for the interpretation, misconception of what we were doing, but trying to fix things. Thank you.
Right, thank you.
Any other business? Hearing and seeing none, we are adjourned.